There's this type of watch. You just take it out of the parcel without even thinking. You put it on the wrist and then it stays there for several weeks. Welcome to Caseback Watches. My name is Tim and our topic today is the Maen Hudson GMT, and I was exaggerating a little bit. I had the chance to wear it some days because then they wanted the model back for another reviewer. But during these days I discovered again this Maen Hudson feeling. It's just a comfortable, hassle-free watch that I like pretty much. And I had the chance to wear it, to film it, to take images, and now I have the chance to demonstrate you why I like this particular model, and now even upgraded with the GMT function. And without further ado, let's go in the lightbox. Let's check out that watch. Okay, then let's begin here with the Maen Hudson GMT, first with the basic measurements. We have a case diameter of 38 millimeters, a length lug to lug 46.5. Thickness is 12.5 millimeters and the lug width is 20, so very convenient for changing the straps. Then we have a 120 click bezel with a ceramic insert. We have a sapphire crystal with RA coating, so anti-reflective coating, and inside works the soap rod C125 Swiss-made automatic movement. And this watch here is waterproof up to 300 meters, so clearly a tool watch with these specifications and also with the look. You have a very uncluttered look if you see the dial now and all those bold indices, so really legibility is king here. You find only, as always, the Maen logo here, automatic, and then you find here the Hudson and the GMT, and that's it. And I really like the placement here of the date on position 6, because you have this uncluttered line from the bold block indices to the date. And so this is very nice. And of course the GMT hand, this is a new one. Not very fancy, but legible and clearly marked with a red accent there. So it's very hard to mix up hands here, and I think this is really good. The dial has some sort of structure which minimizes reflections, and so again another plus towards legibility. But now let's speak about the functionality. I like basically every Maen watches, but with every Maen watch I found little dings and dangs, little negatives. And the first one was sometimes you have very stiff bezels. I mean, there are people who love that, but to be honest, you cannot use it underwater for starters. I mean, maybe you don't want that, but this was designed for diving, and a diver told me if this thing is very stiff, you cannot use it underwater. And this here is just perfect. See this? I don't have to fight for every click. It's not loose. I think it's very nice, and it aligns and feels good. And so, yeah, excellent job here. Then I'm under the impression that you have quite some thread here. You have to really to make some rounds to have the crown loose, like this one here you see now. Provides hand winding. Position 2 is for the hands, for minute and hour hand. Hackable movement. Let's see how the date changes. There you go. And so everything very nice. Position 1 now. Clockwise GMT hand. This I see very often on watches, by the way. That clockwise is the GMT hand and counterclockwise is the quick set for the date. As you may see here. So very nice. Functionality really is there. And now let's speak about the finishing of the watch. I mean, a functional watch doesn't need so much bling. And this is exactly what you have here. See this? Blank case back and brushed, entirely brushed case. Pretty Rolex-ish case. See this? Pretty Rolex-ish. There you have the Maen logo, but it's functional. Let's be honest. It's a functional and comfortable case here. For me personally, with a perfect size. Now people might say, no, it's too small. Guys, we all need different sizes, like shoes. not everybody is happy with size 42 or 45. And for me personally, I think this is a really sweet watch here. And now let's speak a bit about the bracelet. Functional, nothing fancy. See that? Maen, by the way, with some scratches. This is a press purpose piece, PPP. And so there might be some dings and dangs. Caseback, there you see it better, blank. And so here the clasp, nothing fancy, no decoration, but small tolerances. See this, small tolerances, so will do the job, and I've worn the watch. It does the job basically. I'm under the impression that the bracelet itself is a bit more lightweight than the last Maen bracelets. I'm not saying if this is good or bad, I have no idea, it's comfortable. But I've noticed this, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I've gained a bit of weight myself or the other way around, I'm not sure. But it's a good working bracelet, and here you have your portion of decoration, or let's say bling, because of these polished middle links or middle lines or whatever you want to call them. And so overall, very handy watch. Really an all-rounder with a nice GMT function as an extra, and very convincing in robustness. You don't worry so much about that watch, although it's not, it's not super affordable. You have to pay your money for it, but I think it's worth it. If you see the components and the finishing quality. One last point. Often I complained a bit when I had a Maen watch that the edges were extremely sharp. Polishing job not 100%, and now I think it's solved. This is way better. This is way better. You don't have to be afraid that your furniture will have scratches or you ruin your trouser pockets or something like that. So very, very nice, very convincing, and in my eyes really a step forward. All right, and here you have the watch, broad daylight, 17 centimeter wrist, and as always noise from a kindergarten in the background. I cannot do anything against that, and I don't want to do anything against this, but I want to enjoy this sight here. As said, under daylight, unedited, and yeah, that's how it looks like. And the price varies a bit depending on the time of your purchase. The first 150 pieces go for 850 euros including VAT and 680 euros without VAT. Then the next batch comes for 900 euros, and the normal retail price in December then will be 950 including VAT and 760 without VAT. And so in case you're very determined to purchase that watch, then I would buy it earlier, then you can save yourself some money here. Okay, and now let me show you two images viewers sent me, and with two wonderful watches. The first comes from Nathan. I don't have any famous or interesting landmarks in my village here in the UK, but here's a photo of me having a pit stop at one of my favorite pubs on one of my favorite walks around the lovely villages of Hook and Rotherwick in Hampshire, England. And the photo is of my Omega CK859 and a pint of Badger's Best in the garden of the Coach and Horses in Rotherwick, overlooking the fields. And yes, that's a Caseback Watches wallet on the table as well. I love it. Yeah, thank you very much for submitting that image. That's such a great watch. I've noticed it when it came out, and there wasn't so much of a hassle around it, so much of a hype. It was relatively quiet, and I thought, why is it so quiet? Such a great watch. And thank you very much to mention the old club wallet you purchased. I use this wallet myself every day, and it was important for me as a leather worker because for this wallet I've learned to dye leather by hand myself. And this creates a wonderful texture with tons of character. And I was really surprised how great it looks. It was very important for me. And so I'm very happy when I hear that people love that wallet and actually use it every day, under hard conditions, I hope. And the next image comes from Paul, and he's sporting there a Jaeger LeCoultre at the Breitling Bar in Zurich. And he writes, it's a 50-year-old watch that I gifted myself for my 50th birthday for way below 100 euros. She is a Memovox Speed Beat in fantastic condition, 37mm diameter, and I got her on a blue shark leather band that I'll eventually swap, but I'm not in a hurry there. She looks terrific. I'll attach a daylight pic too to show you what I mean. And I can second that. I've owned some Jaeger LeCoultre watches from that period. My two Memovox models sold them out of stupidity and greed, because there was a time and the price went through the roof, and now they're still very expensive. They're hard to track down in good condition, and they're undoubtedly great watches with this. I mean, you see it from a distance and you know immediately, beautiful Gesle culture. And so, Paul, thank you very much. And dear viewer, if you want to see your watches, your sites, your watch stories here on the channel, then you can send me images to casebackwatches@icloud.com. Okay, and that's all for this episode. You can also visit me on Instagram, caseback_Tim. And now let me thank you very much for your attention, and until next time.